to begin, picture the world. A reality check can be humbling. It reminds a man of his place in the cosmos. Picture the oceans. Their average depth is 2.5 miles. Their maximum, more than 7. They cover almost 128,000 square miles of the planet's surface. That's 2/3 of the planet. 97% of the global biosphere. Compared to that, any one man is surely insignificant. Unless he claims the oceans as his domain and rules over them as Aquaman. How far off am I? Western Atlantic. Spindrift Station, Atlantean Dry Land Embassy, Massachusetts.
Majesty. Our sensors show you 2 leagues from the quarry.
Is the identity of the target confirmed, Captain Sark?
My love, this is Mirror. The identity is confirmed. It is the deluge.
Damn it. Arthur Curry. Aquaman. The ruler of Atlantis. This man sees himself as protector of the oceans as a whole. He regards himself, without irony, as monarch and custodian of 2/3 of the globe. Is this confidence and admirable ambition, or supreme arrogance? For taking 2/3 of the planet into your care is no small job. Too much for one man, some would say. To be here now, he is ignoring a typhoon in Indonesia, a seaquake in the Sea of Japan, and a migrant ship foundering in the Mediterranean. Today, he has made his priority the deluge, an Atlantean terror cell, fiercely xenophobic. Stop this. Now. The finer details of Atlantean society are poorly understood by us of the surface world, for Atlantis has famously kept itself isolated. But I understand the deluge recruits from the 9th Triad or 9th House of Atlantis, socially and literally the lowest sector of the city-state.
The king himself. No fealty now, deluge. We are sworn to this act.
Corin Wrath of the 9th Triad. I know you. You are true Atlantean. Turn back from this course. People of the 9th Triad refer to themselves as Hadalin, an Atlantean word for the organisms that dwell in the midnight zone of the deep sea floor, surviving on organic matter falling from the productive zones higher up. Bottom feeders. This is not a slur. To Atlanteans, Hadalin are noble. They toil eternally to keep the seas clean.
You are no king of mine. Where is your crown? You dress like a surface fool. You are not one of us.
The deluge sees the nations of dry land as pollution. They oppose any contact between Atlantis and the surface. And, perhaps more than anything else, they hate the fact that their king is a surface-born. You rig for war. You lash fusion bombs to the harnesses of enslaved sea beasts. Let me guess. You are going to swim into some unsuspecting American harbor and level a city.
The deluge has bided its time, waiting for you to act, king. You have not. You are too fond of your surface friends to speak truth to their power. Fusion fire will communicate our message to the drylanders. The surface will burn. For Atlantis.
No. Not for Atlantis. This is never for Atlantis.
Our king fights his own people to spare the drylanders.
They are terrorists, Merc. They are not our people.
Spindrift Station is Arthur's new project. An Atlantean embassy, intended to improve relations between the Sea Kingdom and the surface.
Neptune below knows the nations of water and air have been at odds for too long. You heard Arthur's words.
He has given leadership of the diplomatic mission to his beloved Mirror. It is a role she undertakes loyally but reluctantly. In many ways she epitomizes the traditional isolationist urge of Atlantis. But she would do anything for him. Even stomach the barbarian customs of the surface world.
The deluge has fusion bombs. Fusion bombs in their saddlebags. They could atomize an eastern seaboard city. That would end hopes of peace between our nation and America.
Yes, my lady.
Garth? Any evidence that the Americans know what's coming?
None yet, but if the fight gets any closer to land, do we deploy the drift to assist His Majesty? The full might of our army even?
Wait, Captain Sark. Mobilizing our elite special forces, or the full military strength of Atlantis, would also cause an international incident.
To the surface world, Aquaman is a superhero. A member of the Justice League. A comrade of Superman and Wonder Woman. He is certainly superhuman.
That Aqua guy is hot. Man, I couldn't get with Nogly that chats with his seafood platter.
But drylanders do seem obsessed with the idea that he talks to fish. This is untrue. He has a telepathic gift that allows him to compel marine life, but fish do not possess enough intelligence to conduct meaningful dialogue. They have tortured your brain with eye-sense implants, old beast. Your agony. However, the myth has made him a running joke in popular culture.
Fishy.
The merman who speaks to fish. Few land dwellers have witnessed him using the superhuman abilities that would give him true credibility. Be free. Throw off the master who enslaves you. For most, he is not a proper superhero. I do not believe that Arthur Curry is an especially proud man, but this reputation must be galling. He is simply not beloved. Indeed, he is generally feared on too many occasions. Atlantis has been in conflict with the surface. So what you're saying, Dr. Taylor, is that Aquaman is not like the other Justice League members? David, he's the head of state of a foreign power. He brings that baggage with him. Okay, turning to our other guest. Jim Torres in Gotham City. Jim, you were there a year ago when the Atlantean attack flooded the city. Yes, David. My sister and her little boy died. Lost my home. Neighbors lost their homes, too. Never had no compensation, David. I dunno what kind of superhero that is. To many, Aquaman is a menace. He is the king of an alien race and the leader of a rogue state. His mother was Atlantean royalty. His father, a surface dweller. A lighthouse keeper. How must it be to have one's origins read like the start of a sea? He is a man of two worlds who belongs to neither. And is, for the most part, not much liked by either one.
You stop me short of Boston, false king. So the bomb packs will vaporize this stretch of the coast instead. The voice of the deluge will still be.
Yet he persists, misunderstood, mocked and unrecognized. He guards land and sea, one from the other. Like his late father's lighthouse, he watches the shoreline, protecting DRY land from the wrath of the ocean, and the ocean from the greed of land. Why?
The land enslaves us. And you.
Why today?
Because tomorrow is too late.
Mirror, it's done. Send the drift in quietly to secure the prisoners and care for their enslaved beasts. In truth, as I consider him, I almost find myself pitying him. On the one hand, he is undoubtedly a man who believes he is striving to achieve a better, safer world.
Hey, Arthur.
He is undoubtedly superhuman. A hero of the first rank. He is a king, with a nation at his command. Hello, Cindy.
You wanna hear the specials?
Thank you. Those of the surface see him as a punchline, or as a menace. Large segments of the Atlantean people resent his rule. He fights a daily battle to balance the always conflicting interests of his parent worlds. He struggles to drag a reluctant Atlantis onto the world stage, and toils to get the air-breathing world to accept the sea kingdom it fears so primally. He is a man of peace at odds, at war with everything around him. And even the fish don't actually talk to him.
You always come here when you want to feel grounded.
Pun intended.
Pun? I mean, this reassures you. Because your father brought you here. And you bring me here when a day has been particularly bad. Or good.
Tonight, the former, I suppose. The deluge.
Kormrath and his radicals are in detention. The Drift traded sites in the 8th Stride, and found secessionist texts. Also, clues to the location of their base. What is this food?
Chowder. Where was the base?
The Liuat recess. It had been destroyed. Where was the base? Perhaps stockpiled weapons had detonated, or they had cuddled it before setting out.
The deluge has been quiet for years. Today they launch an attack.
Provoked by the building of Spindrift and your dry land initiative?
Or goaded by a third party. Have more enemies than friends.
Interrogation will reveal that, in time. What is this called again?
Chowder. Don't eat it if you don't like it.
It's fine.
Mirror, sometimes I see that you tolerate the surface, just for me. The food, this place, dry land.
Of course. It's important to you. And you are important to me.
I don't want to ask too much of you.
Arthur, you ask for nothing of me. I give what is in my heart to give. My only fear is that you ask too much of yourself.
In the struggle of his life, there is one light. Mirror. Without her love, I believe he would collapse beneath the weight of the impossible role he has set for himself. The burden of being Aquaman would bear him down and drown him.
I will begin with her, that will be a mortal wound. Along with her, I will destroy his precious Spindrift embassy and the hope of peace between land and sea that it was raised to symbolize. And then I will finish the man himself. For I know, whatever else he tries to be, Aquaman is a murderer.